Amidst this health crisis, face-to-face learning has become a challenge. While many raised concerns on the opening of classes this August 24, the Department of Education continues to craft mechanisms that will ensure learning to continue in the new normal setting. Join us as we embark on this journey as Candijay National High School hopes for the best. You are watching the simulation video on learning modality of Candijay National High School. Before the implementation of the School Learning Continuity Plan or SLCP, Candijay National High School has undergone a series of conferences and consultations for choosing the appropriate learning modality. To lay out future plans, virtual meetings of teachers were conducted. To ensure safety and gather immediate responses, consultation of other stakeholders through the help of local government unit in the barangay level was also done. To ensure that learners and their parents are well informed, several platforms were considered in conducting of remote and online enrollment. Choices include posting of information text at the school gate, mobile messaging, and social media posting. Hard copies of ESLF were made available at designated dropping points. Some as well opted to enroll online. Based on the gathered ESLF, majority of learners and parents chose a distance learning modality using printed materials. The ESLF turnouts were then used for the profiling of students. Profiling of learners were then followed, which enabled the school to track students the easier way. Learners were then classified by barangay. Each barangay was assigned to a teacher distributor to make sure that the entire process was done properly. The teachers were convened in a virtual session to discuss important points of the chosen learning modality. Committee designation and tasking was devised, in which the entire process was supervised by an overall chairperson. To ensure quality instruction, the delivery of learning materials was well planned and crafted. While waiting for the learning materials from the national level, the teachers used the available learning materials from the division and district level, which were quality assured. The school MOOE was used for the funding of bond papers and ink for printing, as well as the learners' envelopes. Printed learning materials were then sorted and stapled, and finally placed in its learning envelopes. Strict adherence to various health protocols, such as wearing of face masks, thermal scanning, stepping on footbath, and social distancing were followed. For parents near the school vicinity, they were allowed to claim the learning materials. But for those who were from other barangays, the teacher distributor supervised the entire process. Since face-to-face learning instruction is unavailable at this time, parents took an active role in helping and monitoring the progress of their children. In this way, accomplishment of all learning materials will be met. In the retrieval of learning materials, same health protocols were followed. The teacher distributor collected back the learning materials and turned it over to the retrieval committee for segregation by subject areas. The segregation aggregated outputs were handed over to the subject teachers. To ensure that outputs were distributed and returned, a checklist of returned learning materials with the student's name under the teacher distributor was enforced. The learner's parents were then notified through call and text messaging. After the simulation process, teachers were called for a meeting to discuss the issues and gaps that emerged during the implementation process. Among the issues and gaps, the teachers and other stakeholders involved are the following. 1. Confusing students' address. 2. Some students did not follow instruction in answering. Some wrote their answers for all the subjects in one paper only. 3. There was also lack of student and parent involvement in some areas. In spite of instruction that only parents or guardians can claim and submit the learning materials, still this was not followed. 4. There was a need to assign more teacher distributor for bigger barangays to facilitate the process and at the same time execute the health protocols. 5. Some teachers failed to submit learning materials on time, which caused delay in the segregation process. 6. There were also insufficiency of learning materials to be distributed on a particular area or barangay. The Candijay National High School teachers commit to improve the process by the following. 1. Doing intensive follow-up and tracking of learners' current address. 2. Close monitoring of students' progress. 3. Reorientation of parents and develop a written commitment form. 4. Realignment and adding of teacher distributor to supplement the process needs. 5. Intensify and closely monitor the submission of learning materials to avoid delays. 6. Verify the master list of each teacher distributor to avoid duplication. It is said that learning is an endless process. It is like a river that continually flows in the mainstream. This task is quite daunting. It requires courage, innovation, and creativity to keep us going. However, with the help of all the stakeholders in the community, Candijay National High School will surely beat all odds.